Hey everyone, welcome back to South by Southwest Live. We are Fanservice here with you guys, and I am your host, Gavin Stone, joined by
Chris-Rachael and our exciting guests.
Ben Arfman, writer-director of Random Stop.
JP Gastel, producer of Random Stop.
Justin Perkinson, cinematographer of Random Stop.
Jeffrey Kennedy, I'm the lead actor in Random Stop.
So basically you were the camera.
Yes, yeah. I'm actually just an inanimate object.
You know, the really impressive part is the cybernetic eye looks so real.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it took me a while to kind of like get, the flow of that.
So let's tell everyone what Random Stop is about.
Okay, so Random Stop is a short film playing here at South by Southwest. It's a first-person POV short. That means that the camera is literally the eyes of our protagonist. So in this case, actually, Justin wore the camera, and Jeff did the voice, as well as provided all the visuals for any reflections we had during the movie. So it's based on a true story. It's based on the true story of a young sheriff's deputy, 22-year-old sheriff's deputy, who pulled over a speeding pickup truck being driven by a 46-year-old Vietnam veteran. And the two of them got into an argument. That argument turned violent, and it was unfortunately, the end was very tragic. So it's first-person POV. It's a 7-minute oneer. It's a single shot. It's an intense film.
I love things that are done in a single shot for the whole thing, because that really adds a very deep layer of realism.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes it uncomfortably real, is what I would say. It's not a pleasant experience to watch our film. So Justin, we shot the film over the course of 3 days. It's actually 7 separate shots that we stitched together in post to make it look like one shot. Justin was wearing the camera, and JP did all the VFX that stitched those shots together, which was difficult, to say the least.
Yeah.
It was very challenging.
So it's not one of those movies where, oh, that didn't go off right, we got to go all the way back to the beginning and start over again, right?
I mean, it was essentially that. It's a 7-minute film, so we had basically 7 one-minute oneers that we had to do, and that includes a first-person POV chase that actually took place at 100 miles an hour on a closed road, right? It has a first-person gun battle with a lot of really elaborate practical effects that were going down. So we approached the making of the whole thing kind of like a live performance. We would show up on set, and we would rehearse during the morning for about 3 or 4 hours to try and get all the choreography for the 2 shots that we were doing that day correct. And then we would have like 1 to 2 tries to try and get something right, because we had limited windows of time that we could shoot in.
Now, I'm not asking this because we would ever actually do anything along these lines, but what does it take to get a license to shut down a road, go 100 miles an hour, and have large explosives on it?
I guess that's a question for me. It takes a lot, especially in LA, because I think there were 4 different divisions we had to work with, which was Film LA, there's the National Forest that's there, California Highway Patrol. I mean, we shut off an old section of the I-5, which we found, which was the only thing that was dual-sided, two lanes on both sides that kind of remotely looked like Georgia. And it was quite a hassle. I mean, I spent about 2.5 weeks going through and hand-holding them through the permit. But Film LA is great, and working with them has always been a pleasure. But and that was the best part, is that we were working with a guy by the name of Webster Winery, who did a lot of the special effects and stunt choreographer for Pirates of the Caribbean, and he came on board and really walked us through how we're going to do the entire thing. And this guy was actually in the back seat behind our stunt driver, holding his head at 100 miles an hour. They literally go that fast, which is actually what happened. And I think that was the best part about it, making sure that was all safe and all that.
So you didn't get to actually drive the car 100 miles an hour, be like,
I wanted to. The producer really wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah, there's insurance issues with that, but yeah, so.
No, that would have been too much, actually. Just
I like how
operating-
you're smiling. That would have been too much.
No, it would have been too much. And this guy was amazing. I mean, Webster that's his job, is to drive stunts, and he really enjoyed it. And we had kind of a tandem thing where I was like, can I operate your head? Is that all right? And he was like, yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. Let's just go. Let's go. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
oh, look, there's a bear over there. Oh, what? Oh.
Yeah.
So why'd you decide to tell this from a first-person view?
So that's kind of an interesting and long explanation. I mean, I had been interested in doing a POV short for a while. I think that there's a lot of momentum in terms of storytelling and technology that are leading us more and more towards sharing experiences in this way. Like, I'm literally sitting inside, I'm actually in your shoes. Like, I'm seeing through your eyes and getting to experience what you experience. Most of what I've seen so far of that has been kind of hero fantasy, like escapism type things, basically video games, where guys face a problem where they take a gun in their hand and shoot a bunch of people and are victorious at the end. And the real world isn't really like that, And so I've been,
So disappointing.
Strangely enough, not every problem that you have will get solved when you grab a gun, right? And so we had been wanting to do something like this for a while, but looking for the right story. I came across this story. It's the story of Kyle Dinkkeller, who was a 22-year-old sheriff deputy in Georgia back in 1998. And it struck me really deeply. You know, it's really disturbing. It's a tough story. It stayed with me for a long time after I encountered it, and it seemed like it was a good convergence of these two different things that both were stuck in my head. You know, the idea of doing a POV thing and then Kyle's story. So I don't know if that's a good explanation.
No, that's a good answer. So when are you going to tackle something like Doom?
Yeah, right.
We'll see. We were thinking about making something a little friendlier. But one thing I wanted to mention, too, that was really important is that this actually was a real event that happened, and it was all caught on the dash cam video of the actual police officers. So what we kind of discovered, when Ben brought me the project, we had both seen it separately because it kind of went online and went viral, which is sort of a good and bad thing. And we realized this is a great story, and then kind of started doing the research and found out that it's a training tool that they use across the nation to actually train police officers. And a lot of people that are in Los Angeles, the first thing they see when they go to the academy is this video, and about 3 to 10% don't come back the next day because it's like a real wake-up call. This is what the job is. You put your life on the line. And I think that's why it's such an interesting story, is it shows the other side, because a lot of people give cops a bad rep. You know what I mean? They have to deal with the dark side of society and all that kind of stuff. And this kind of shows you, like, oh, you know, the other flip side is that, you know, they're laying their life on the line to keep us safe. So that was the most important thing for us.
Did you need to get permission from the families for this, or?
So the story was actually public domain, so we were able to make the film without having to jump through any kind of legal hoops like that. We have been in contact with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department where this incident took place, and they're very in support of spreading awareness of this specific event, but in general of the difficulties that police officers face daily. As far as their interest in our little short film, people in rural Georgia aren't that interested in short film.
I'm shocked to tell you.
Yeah, they have other things to do, like, you know, Honey Boo Boo, stuff like that. It's true. We had him in here earlier.
Yeah.
So what's next up for you guys?
Well, so we're trying to figure that out right now. We are all kind of in the midst of other things. I'm working in development in Los Angeles. JP's an independent producer. And Justin is actually in Beijing right now on a Fulbright scholarship.
You are a fantastic hologram, sir.
Right.
I've never seen better.
Yeah, we welcome you over in China if you like.
He's real.
No, Justin actually, just to reiterate, he got a Fulbright scholarship while at UCLA. We're all actually from UCLA. It's a master program. And he's in China right now for the year and a half. So once we got done shooting, he actually had to pack up and ship out, and he's doing a documentary over there, which is really great. So.
Neat. Can you tell us a tiny bit about that?
Yeah, it's a web series on traditional Chinese medicine in 21st century China.
Neat.
So you've got the oldest medicine in the world and the fastest growing superpower, and how do those things interact, and how is TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, changing in this modern landscape.
So you flew over just for South by Southwest, and now you're going right back to China afterwards?
I came over for this,
right,
actually,
yes.
and I leave right afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah.
So where can people see your film at South by Southwest?
At South by, where can they see it? Yeah, so we just had our premiere today at the Rollins. We're going to be at a South by Satellite
Sunday or Monday.
On Monday. I actually have a card here that's going to help me out with this. So we're screening on Monday the 10th at 11 a.m. at the Marquesa South by Satellite.
Nobody can say that one.
Yeah.
We don't even know. We just,
Everybody knows what you mean.
Right. On Wednesday, we're going to be at the ZAC at 11 a.m. And then on Friday, we'll be at Stateside again at 11 a.m.
And if people are watching this and intrigued, is there any place online they can watch it? Is it out there for the public yet?
Soon.
Soon.
the ominous soon.
Right.
Yes.
And
But-
if we've intrigued them, where can they stalk you online? Facebook, Twitter, websites, tell the world.
I'm there. It's randomstopfilm.com is the best place to go. Facebook, same thing, /randomstopfilm, and then Twitter, just randomstop. Take a look. We're going to do a big online release, but we're waiting to go through a few festivals still, and it's fun. One of the things cool about it is Brian Cross is also the second star in it as well, and he's been on things like Charmed and all that kind of stuff. So it was fun working with him and with Jeff as well. I think Jeff had one of the hardest things to do as an actor is kind of take a performance that was not his own and then make it his own with unique. And he was on set with us looking at what Justin did, and I just wanted to give a throw out to him because it was amazing working with him in ADR and getting the performance we needed and all that kind of stuff. So.
Right. I mean, it took a while. There was probably 3 or 4 8-hour sessions of ADR that we had to go through.
We did some work. There was a couple where we were just working on the sound of spitting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That
Like
took a
sunflower
while.
seeds.
That would be really hard, actually.
You know what? It's not as easy as you would think. Putting it in your mouth and just spitting it out. It's just gotta.
Needs more fling.
Yeah, it's got more velocity,
More
of
distance,
spit.
yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not feeling the spit of the sunflower seeds.
But I will say that was one of the most rewarding experiences as
Spitting
a
sunflower
cinematographer.
seeds?
No,
Was
actually,
spitting
it really
sunflower seeds. No, it was working with Jeff, like as Ben and Brian and Jeff developed the like arc of the character and the beats, and then Jeff really actually putting a ton of input on set, like right there as a trooper, while I had to actually like embody the character, kind of like imitating what you had created.
Right.
Hopefully I gave you enough. I'm sorry I didn't spit the sunflower seeds.
No, it was great. It was just what I needed.
So, good luck at South by Southwest. It's going to be exciting to see what you guys create next. Doom. Keep it in the radar.
I can see.
And have a good week.
Cool,
I hope
thank
everyone
you.
enjoys the
Thank you
film.
very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah.